Hi, I'm Jane Muir, and I'm a business lawyer in Miami. What happens after you've won a lawsuit and you have a judgment? That's when the real difficulty begins. What you want to do first is run an asset search on the defendant against whom you have the judgment. Hopefully, you will find assets like boats and real estate that's not homestead and cash assets in bank accounts. Once you have a judgment, you have a lot of opportunity to seek information that otherwise would be considered private. The other thing you're allowed to do is use proceedings supplementary, which is what we call it, the phase after judgment, where you get to ask the opposing party for their bank account numbers and what banks they bank with and where their assets are and so on. So when you get that detail, it can help you understand where to find the assets. If you're lucky, you can show up at a person's office or building and lock the doors and start boxing up their equipment to sell it. Or you can get a receiver appointed who will run the business in a way that will give you the money that you have earned in your judgment. And you can also do the ordinary steps of recording the judgment and making sure that it's reported against the credit report of that individual or business. If you're not lucky and you can't find assets, for instance, if you have a judgment against a debtor who keeps their money in cash or keeps their money abroad, then you might have to be more careful and tricky. And there are lawyers whose entire practice is post-judgment execution and collecting on judgments. So collecting on the judgment is a totally additional process after winning a lawsuit that we always try to consider at the beginning before we even entertain a lawsuit, because we are interested in winning judgments that we can collect. So if you've already won a judgment and you'd like to discuss your options for collection, give us a call.